relatives of the giraffe, not the zebra, despite those black and white striped legs. You can see a little bit more of the resemblance as you look at his face. Okapis are often referred to as forest giraffes. There's a friends here on our left. These are bongos. Beautiful copper-colored antelopes. They're actually referred to as ghosts of the forest. They blend in really well, and usually when they walk, they make super calculated footsteps to make sure they never step on twigs or get hurt. Nice to see them really close sometimes. Their cousins are up here by the watering hole though. Social gathering place. A lot of animals come down here to drink their water together. These greater kudus are some of the tallest antelopes to live in the forest. Each one of them is about 5 foot tall. All 3 of them are also girls. None of them have horns. Greater kudus are one of the only antelopes where only males have them. You can see what he looks like if you'd like on your spotting guide. He's the one at the far right and far left. But let's see what other animals we can find out here. Keep your eyes out in the bushes and the trees. It looks really quiet, so we might have to head out of here, go down to the Safi River. That's usually home to some more aquatic animals, so hopefully we do get to see them swimming around down there. Now, if you haven't heard, Disney's actually released a show for a lot of more in-scenes for these animals on the reserve. It's called The Magic Behind Disney's Animal Kingdom. It's not on Disney Plus, but if you are having a lot of fun and you want to know more about these animals and how they're taken care of, I definitely recommend that show. There are 8 episodes, you could finish them all. But it may make you very sleepy, like these hippos up ahead. They're sunbathing right now, which is really rare. Actually, hippos spend most of their days under the water. They have really sensitive skin, but these ones still just want to catch some sunshine. But you can see just how big they truly are, and they're actually 5,000-pound animals. Crazy. A couple more here on the left. They are sleeping under the water, but it's the whole bloat. That's what a group is called. They share their island with very few animals because they are very territorial. These birds are pink-backed pelicans. They get the name because their backs change to the color pink during mating season. It's blushing. They're pretty big too. When they open their wings, they're 8 feet wide, which is actually the same width as the canopy over your head. So you can imagine if that was one of them. But we're heading just around the river bend to find some more animals. Some more hippos on the left, actually. Oh, they're out too. Now, down below us up here are actually the Nile crocodiles, the longest swimming reptiles in the whole world. A couple of them have their mouths wide open too, which is a really easy way to release hot air built inside of them. They're ectothermic animals, so they rely on surroundings to regulate their body temperature. But the dangerous part does come when they close the mouth. They do have the most powerful jaws in the whole world. So we're going to drive pretty far away from them. Head over to the Serengeti grasslands, which is home to some more iconic animals, like giraffes, elephants, lions, cheetahs, warthogs, rhinos, zebras, ostrich. Oh my. Now we're pulling up to this funny tree as well, which is really significant. It's called the baobab, but it may already look familiar to you. It's also nicknamed the Tree of Life. There's 500 gallons of water inside those very large trunks. It acts as a reservoir, so if the land ever gets dry, animals can at least poke holes into the trunk and drink water from these trees. They're pretty amazing. We'll see a couple more of them scattered around out here. You'll most likely see a much larger version though on your own later on. Welcome to the savannah. This is a gorgeous view, and sometimes you can see a couple animals, but we're gonna head down and get as close as we can. once we reach the bottom, to your right you'll see some Ankoli cattle, and they grow the largest set of horns in the entire world. The one with the solid red coat, that's Ace. He grows the largest set out here. They're not as heavy as you think. They're actually pretty hollow. The inside of their horns have a lot of blood vessels just pumping blood, so it's their way of regulating body temperature. It's their personal air conditioning unit. Off to the right are also a couple of Hartman mountain zebras, including one of the 2 babies that lives out here, but you'll get a better view once we reach the other side. There's also a couple of giraffes coming up here, and these are the Maasai giraffes. There's 7 different kinds around the world. These ones have super rugged edges, and you'll see as we start to pull up pretty close, at least compared to the reticulated giraffe on your spawning guide, who's got a lot more straight lines. Sadly, the Maasai giraffes here are the most critically endangered of their kind, but that's why they're here, to be protected. Off on the left-hand side across these hedges are also some African wild dogs to the right of this rock cave. They look just fluff balls laying down right now. They're actually the most successful predators in all of Africa. These dogs work together so well, they just run their prey to pure exhaustion. Gives them a 90% success rate. Lions are 7% successful. Some other brown animals with cool horns out there, sable antelopes. They use theirs as swords to fight in a fight or flight situation. And then here to the left, baby zebra, baby giraffes. The baby giraffes are a little bit more eye level to you compared to that adult that we saw. They still have a little ways to grow. This is Domino on to the left. He's the male zebra out here. You get to be introduced to him on that show I was telling you about. But if you notice, he does have a solid black nose, which represents his base color. So zebras are actually black with white stripes. We're gonna pull up to the other 2 over here, so those friends on the right can get a good view of the baby as well. Their cousins seem to be coming over here as well on the left side, the white-bearded wildebeest. Could be a little family reunion. Baby zebras are born with actually the same size legs they have now as an adult. So you could imagine those long legs, little body, big nose, super cute. Now off to the right there's a couple springbok laying down. They're probably going to be the smaller animals we see today. They're 3 foot tall, but they still jump 6 feet into the air. So their names literally mean springing buck. The white-bearded wildebeest names are also very fitting. They truly do have little white beards under their chins. Looks like the rest of them are on the other side of the savannah, so we're going to head over to them, follow the cattle. Around the corners, a couple more giraffes that you'll start to see. They're kind of crossing the road right now, so we have a bit of a giraffic jam. We'll pause here for a moment. Now these giraffes will pretty much just spend most of their days wandering around like this looking for food. They eat for almost 20 hours a day. They do actually have 4 stomachs. They only sleep for 30 minutes too, so they've got a lot of time on their hands. This adult that's super close to us, you could get a good peek of their tongue. It's 18 inches long. It's called a prehensile tongue. Really gets up into those leaves. It's also long enough to poke their own eye out if they wanted. If you do catch a sneak peek, you'll notice it's a dark purple color too. Because they eat for 20 hours a day, a dark colored tongue can help prevent it from getting sunburnt. Now it looks looks like up ahead there are a lot of knocked down trees, which means we must be getting into elephant territory next. These friendly and intelligent giants love knocking them down. They're kind of like bulldozers. So let's see what they're up to. Looks like there is one on the other side of this tall grass to your right. You may get a better view as we slowly circle around here. But he's an adult, so he weighs over 10,000 pounds, loves to eat just as much as the giraffes. He typically gathers 300 pounds of food every day. You can actually tell he's a male really easily. If you look around, he's by himself. Males are solitary animals. They kind of get kicked out by their mothers once they mature at 15 years old to live life on their own, which they enjoy by themselves, but you may also see a couple of the boys form a small bachelor group with one another if they want company. Gorillas do that a lot too. We're actually going to head over to the other side to find the herd of elephants, which are all the females, and if they're young, the little girls get to stay with mom for pretty much their whole life, and there's only one other animal that stays with a mom for nearly as long. It's us humans. Along our journey, we're coming up to some red clay walls, which elephants will sometimes gather around so they can eat. There's a lot of added minerals in here that they don't always find from their diet, so it's kind of like a multivitamin. But you'll notice some tusk marks against the walls and even some footprints all along the ground. They have been here. Just have to figure out where they went. This herd that we're trying to catch up with, they are actually run as a matriarchal society, which means the girls run the group, but there is one leading lady who's known as the matriarch. She has generations of information that's been specifically passed down to her, so she's responsible for leading all of the elephants in the herd for food, water, safety, shelter. Wherever she goes, the rest follow. You can always tell which one she is by the largest set of tusks, because the bigger the tusk, the more wisdom is held inside, so the older they are. But since the others didn't really do much without the matriarch, they do stay very close-knit, very family-oriented bunch. All munching on some breakfast too. You know, there are chunks of hundreds of tiny little muscles inside, acting kind of like a hose as a nose. They pick food up with them, pull tree branches down, drink water, throw mud onto their backs. Very multi-purpose. But speaking of water, there's actually a watering hole down here, another social gathering place. Hopefully some more animals have found their way down here. To the left is a really good view of the elephant. You get another good view, no worries, once we circle around this island that seems to be occupied by all of the greater flamingos. These are the tallest, biggest, and lightest pink color of their kind. Although you may notice some of them are a little more gray toned than the rest, and those are the babies. They're actually a couple of months old already. They just take 2 years to get pink feathers like mom or dad. They need to eat a lot of brine shrimp. This is another gorgeous view with one more look at the elephants in the background. We've got a lot more of the savannah to explore, so let's keep going, see what other animals we can find up here. On the right, get a little sneak peek. There's a couple white rhinos down there. We'll get to see them again because this road does lead us to the other side of the reserve. But it seems like they found a little bit of a better spot to relax at. They've definitely been rolling around this mud pit on the left. You can see it's a complete mess. It does really help cool them down. The mud often acts like natural sunscreen, insect repellent. Rhinos have really sensitive skin, so oftentimes you will see them roll around in it like a farm pig. It's pretty cute. But on our journey back over to them, keep your eyes open over here to the left. This is usually where any cheetahs are spotted. They do blend in really well with these tree logs. I notice a couple of them walking around up here. These sleek, muscular bodies they're showing off to you are what brings them to 60 miles per hour, or 97 kilometers per hour in 3 seconds. Those tails help them to balance and steer too. They are really unique from all of the other big cats. Cheetahs are actually the only ones that do their hunting in the day. And they do not roar, they meow, like house of cat, just kind of adorable. Although there are some other big cats that live in Africa that happen to love roaring. Lions. This is their home. It's a fun set of rocks. It's called a kopie. We're gonna loop around to see what they're up to, but keep in mind they are nocturnal animals. They're mostly active at night. They spend almost 20 hours of their days resting or sleeping to help conserve energy. Although they like taking their naps out here, so hopefully we get some luck. On to the right, there's some other friends, these shaggy antelopes, which are called water bucks. They can emit an oil from their coats that make them waterproof, which is a cool superpower. And a little one called the bontebok, sadly extinct in the wild. They face a lot of poaching for their coats. You can kind of tell it's purple, which is what makes them seem so valuable to poachers, but they're just really pretty and cute. There are those white rhinos again. We'll still see them for a third time just around the corner. If you look up here at the top of the rocks, double lions. The whole pride, however, one boy and 2 girls who are sisters, like Anna and Elsa. They are really big cats. It's hard to tell from down here, but one of their paws is about the same size as your whole face. So majestic. You know, when it becomes nightfall, these girls are actually the ones that do the majority of the hunting. Male lions will stay back to protect the territory and the cubs. Pretty rare to see them still awake in the day, but it is really nice out, so they're enjoying it. Some other friends are too. These are the warthogs, my personal favorites. Their heads are sometimes a bit big for their bodies, so they go down to their elbows to eat food sometimes. It's pretty cute. Also an ostrich coming up onto the left, the largest bird of the world. She is 6 foot tall, eye level to you. You can tell she's a girl because she's got gray feathers. Male ostrich have solid black. Now there is a reason why the ostrich are here, because if you look back over here to the right, much closer to us than those rhinos, there is a nest of ostrich eggs. And you could actually stand on an ostrich egg and they won't break under your feet. They are that strong and durable. They're communal layers, so there are a lot of ostriches' eggs and they take turns to watch them. But the rhinos never really mess with them. To be honest, they hardly ever see them. You know, rhinos only see 10 feet in front of them, so they're pretty blind. That means they're not aggressive. They are very calm-natured animals. They just get scared super easily. When they hear a loud sudden noise, white rhinos will generally get up and run 30 miles an hour, weighing 5,000 pounds, seeing 10 feet in front of them. Ironically, they're called a crash as a group. Hi girl, what's up? You know, the ostrich's eyes are bigger than their brains. Take that as well. Sadly, it looks like they're some of the last friends we're going to find out here. We have reached the edge of the savannah, which also means we're getting into the last leg of our journey. But we've seen a lot of really cool animals. All of those giraffes, elephants, rhinos. Keep in mind they are are here to be protected. They're endangered, so they need as much help as possible. But we're always expanding our reserve too, so we can welcome new animals that need to join our family. So please pardon our pixie dust as you travel through here. But feel free to look around, observe your surroundings, and take a moment to yourself if you wish.
That's new.
Overall, this is a pretty stunning, one-of-a-kind planet that we all just happen to live on, and we do share it with these animals, so it's really important to learn how to live in harmony with them. And conservation plays a really big part of that. Recycling, using reusable bags, cups, straws, water bottles, you've heard it all before, but these small, everyday things can really add up to making a big difference. Also though, while you're wandering through the park, you may also donate to the Disney Conservation Fund, which has actually raised $18 million to date, saving a lot of animals worldwide. So thank you so much if you've already donated. As we shared, you don't need to donate to make a difference. Every day, if you strive to make a small change, can add up to making a big difference for the animals and the planet. So you can always come back and visit us. I do hope that what you've seen today you'll treasure in your hearts forever. Sadly, we're pulling back up to the village, so I hope y'all had a wild time in the Harambe Wildlife Reserve and saw some of your favorite animals. Although if you didn't, please note that you can come back and join us again for another safari. No two of these are ever the same. We guarantee it, and the animals tend to make sure of it. But if you have any further questions, feel free to come up to my windows as you onboard. They are quite literally always open, so I'll be more than happy to chat with you. But wherever your next adventures take you, I do hope that you all go well, go wild, explore that wilderness, go make a difference, and go have fun.